Now, the other features on the output tab are optional. So you, as I said, you can check the connect at startup to have that source connect to your server whenever you start Winamp. If you checked auto reconnection on connection failure, that is to have the shoutcast source automatically reconnect to your server if your connection fails. Now, the reconnection timeout field tells shoutcast source how much time to pause in between each reconnection attempt. So if you fail to connect, that's going to tell it how many seconds to wait before it tries to reconnect again. Now, the next thing that we need to do to complete is the yellow pages section of the output tab. Now, as you all know, many places have yellow pages, and of course, they are phone directories. Well, one of the good things about broadcasting or streaming with Shoutcast, you are automatically added to the Shoutcast directory, which is located at http://yp.shoutcast.com. So the information in the yellow pages section will also be displayed to the listeners. So, those who are listening will know how to get to your website. And that's always a good thing. So, on that yellow pages tab, what we're going to enter in is we want to make sure that it is checked to make this server public. You're going to enter the description of your station. In my case, my radio station is actually www.wdkkradio.com. So what I put in for my description is just simply WDKK Radio. All of that information is public, as I said, to your listeners. You're going to want to enter. You can tell I do a lot of broadcasting. You're going to want to enter your URL. That is the address of your website. You're going to want to put the genre of music, if it's country, if it's indie, if it's top 40, if it's R&B. You're going to want to enter into that box genre what type of music your station plays. Now, I've had a lot of clients to ask me, well, how many can I put in there? And I tell them, I typically recommend that you don't put more than 3. So you could have a station that deals with indie, R&B, and top 40. It could be contemporary, country, talk, but you don't want to enter too many because that kind of gives the impression that your station doesn't really kind of have a fixed format. And so whatever works for you, that's what you're going to want to put in the genre. And you'll separate those stations by simply putting a comma after each genre. Now, if you use Instant Messenger, if you're on ICQ, if you use Internet Relay Chat, you can put that information in those boxes there. To enable the titles updates, you're going to want to check that. Leave the information that is in that box there and just simply enable title updates. What that does is it actually sends out to the server what the title of the song is that's playing and who the artist is. So you want to make sure to do that. So, if you don't want your station to be listed in the Shoutcast directory, then just make sure that make this server public is not checked. And as I said, the enable title updates is checked, as well as auto for the title and description. That will make sure that the title of the song is displayed in your player. Last thing that we will need to do is to configure the encoder, or next to the last thing. So you're going to want to configure the encoder. So go ahead and click on the next tab over, which says encoder. Now, you'll notice that in the encoder type, there are a number of different encoder types available. You're going to want to select MP3 encoder. Now, depending on the station, or depending on the server that you're with, they have probably set you up to stream at a certain bit rate, what they call bits per second. So depending on what they have offered in your particular package is going to determine what you're going to set in this section. So by default, encoder 1 is selected. You won't need to change the setting on the other encoders unless you're broadcasting to multiple servers. So next, you choose your encoder type from that drop down menu. Now, the AAC Plus encoder is known to provide higher quality audio at lower bit rates when compared to the MP3 encoder. So, broadcasting at a lower bit rate will save you bandwidth, and it will also save you money. So, if you decide to go with the AAC Plus encoder, make sure that your server provider has that enabled in your software packet that rests on the server, or it won't recognize the type. So go ahead and click on the encoder settings, choose your bit rate, and if the MP3 encoder is selected, then the bit rate can be chosen from the encoder settings drop down menu. Choose the bit rate based on your server. Now, if your audience is mainly using dial-up broadcast at 24 to 32 kilobytes a second. So if you're in an area where you know that a lot of people are still on dial-up, then you want to broadcast at the lower bit rates. Now, for cable or DSL users, broadcast at 56 to 128. I would not recommend broadcasting at bit rates higher than 128. Most CD quality audio is encoded at 128 kilobytes a second. So broadcasting at a higher bit rate, the only thing it's going to do is going to waste the bandwidth that you have allocated for your station. So the final step is to configure the input tab of the Shoutcast source. So once you click on the input tab, you'll see the following dialog. Now, by default, Winamp is selected as the input device. Now, with that option, you'll be broadcasting anything that is played through Winamp. That is the recommended selection if you'll be broadcasting playlists or any other pre-recorded content. So if you're only going to be playing music or other pre-recorded content, just simply leave it on Winamp, and Winamp will stream out whatever you're playing to the server, and that's what will be played on your station. Now, the second option on the input device drop down is the sound card input. Now, when this is selected, any sound played on your PC, any sound played on your computer, will be broadcasted to your Shoutcast server. Now, this option is recommended when you're using DJ software to mix your songs, or when you're using the line in on your sound card to bring audio into your PC. And this option is also the recommended option for online radio stations. Now, the line in can also be used when you're remixing songs with external turntables. So as you can see, this particular software packet is very flexible, so you can customize it to however you're going to be using it. This is the input that you're going to want to use if you're going to be doing talk radio, or if you're going to have a microphone connected to your computer, you're going to be announcing songs, you're going to be talking over music, then you're going to want to select the sound card input. Now, if you select the sound card input as your input device, other additional features begin to appear. You'll notice that there's one for microphone and there is one for line input. If you select the line input, what that is going to do is give you the ability to do talkovers or voiceovers on music. So you would be playing the music. You can set the background music levels. As you can see, all of these options are available. Hit the push to talk button and your music will automatically fade down. You'll be talking. When you let go of the push to talk, your music will fade back up. So the recommended input setting for this also is 44 100 hertz stereo. And from my personal experience and the number of other radio stations that we do hosting for at Full Circle Media Group, it provides the best sound quality. So if you have a microphone connected to your sound card, again, you can select microphone on the sound card mixer section. However, the music will not come through. If you select the line in, both the music and the microphone will pass through Winamp. And step 8, final step, you're done. So to begin streaming, click on the output tab of your Shoutcast source and then click connect. If you're having any difficulties with this process, be sure to contact our support team at www.fullcircle, that's circle with a K, mediagroup.com. We are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to answer any questions for you. I trust that you've enjoyed this tutorial. Send us an email at da@fullcirclemediagroup.com. Better still, visit us online. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter to stay abreast of the many different trainings and specials that we do have on internet radio. And once again, thanks for your time. Enjoy broadcasting.